What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Right or Wrong Show. Tower and I are here. We're super excited for today. It's Friday. We got week 3 college football coming up, week 2 of the NFL. And last week in the NFL was crazy. The sports world is going nuts about everything right now.
Yeah, we're
Baseball.
sorry. We're sorry it's taking so long. You know, we're students on the side, so it's taking us a little time to get this.
It was
stuff
a
together.
big work week, but we're glad to be here with you on this Friday.
Yes, sir. Well, Goose, why don't we get right into it? We're going to talk a little bit about baseball first. So, Matt Olson, you just tied the Braves home run record. Who can stop the Braves from another pennant? And my answer is no one. No one's going to stop the Braves from winning another pennant. That's all I got to say.
Dude, this guy, Matt Olson, is crazy. I mean, 51 homers, that's a lot of homers from your first baseman. He leads all first basemen in home runs. I mean, this guy's just slugging. He's slugging for a great team. The Braves are on pace to set the all-time MLB record for home runs of the season. Currently, the 2019 Twins have that record, which is crazy if they're going to break that record. Like, they could break that record. That's sick. Yeah. They already clinched the division. They clinched the division against the Phillies this week.
Yep.
And Philly fans, of course, doing their thing. Boo the Braves. CBS Sports made a post on Instagram where it was like, since on the Jumbotron at the Philly Stadium, it was like, congratulations, Braves, for your division title. Meanwhile, every Phillies fan is booing the heck out of the Braves. So quit acting like Philadelphia is a nice city and that they're like happy for the Braves. They're
Whoever said Philly was a nice city?
They're pissed off. They're not a nice city.
I lived in Philly for 10 years. And let me tell you, I went to a lot of Eagles games, went to a lot of Phillies games, and every time I walked out of there as a young boy, my dad would plug my ears because he didn't want them to hear what they were.
It ain't really the city of brotherly love?
No.
Wow, yeah. Well, they're horrible. Last night...
It's a city of brotherly love if you're Philly, but when their sports teams don't do well...
Dude, last night they were booing the Eagles in the first quarter. The Eagles were up 3-0. They had to punt the ball.
5 quarters removed from the Super Bowl.
They're booing.
They're booing.
They're booing the Eagles up 3-0 against the Vikings at home. It was crazy. I hate Philadelphia fans. Chris Triano.
I love Philly. I love Philly.
Yeah, but all right. So the Braves. I mean, good lord, 51 homers from Matt Olson.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure the Oakland A's could use those 51 homers right now.
They really could.
I think they probably barely had 51 homers in their entire season.
You're probably right. They got Acuna as well. He should probably lock up that MVP spot. There was a debate for a little bit between Mookie and him for a hot sec, but
Mookie Betts is nice.
Yeah, he's nice.
All right, well, getting back to what you asked. That is crazy. You don't think anybody in the National League can beat the Braves. Listen, I get it. They're good. But the baseball playoffs are incredibly unpredictable. I mean, every single year, somebody goes really far that you didn't expect. Last year was the Phillies. They were 21-29, turned it around and made it to the World Series, beating the Braves in the process. Listen, if you're telling me you don't think anything in the NL can beat the Braves, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. Because I'm going to tell you that the Dodgers, the Phillies, and the Brewers could all definitely knock off the Braves. 100%.
Here's the thing. As the more I think about it, I can't say the Braves are going to win it all because, usually...
No, just win the NL. The question is, are they going to win the National League?
Oh.
Are you saying they will win the National League?
Okay, so I started out thinking the Braves, and then, as you said, the MLB playoffs are super unpredictable.
Yeah, they sure are.
And, dude, I would really love to see the Phils get back to the World Series again and just ride another hot streak.
Oh, God.
I would love to see the Phils get there again, but...
No.
I think the best shot to beat the Braves is the Dodgers. But I think the Braves are going to take the NL pennant. That's what I got to say. Their team's on a historic pace. They're a machine. I can't see them losing 4 games.
They're super airtight on defense with their pitching. They have an unbelievable amount of hitting, like crazy.
Yeah.
But I got to tip my cap to the Dodgers. Those guys have been a phenomenal baseball team for the last 10 years running. Those guys are awesome. And they're great again this year. Sitting at 88-57. They got the NL West locked up. Is there something going on in our chat right now?
Yeah. Jess and Connor in the chat. They're just saying hi. Shout out to those two. Thanks for your support.
Thanks for watching. Yeah, we're having a lot of fun up here. Okay, yeah. And then I want to ask you one thing. The NL wildcard race is crazy right now. There are 4 teams within a half a game of each other for the 3rd NL wildcard spot. Those 4 teams, Phils are 4 games up on the wildcard. They're the 2nd wildcard. Cubs are first wild card. Yeah. Cubs are 2nd. Yeah. I really hope the Cubs pass the Phillies so we can go to the wild card series at Wrigley.
Yeah.
If the Cubs hosted the Phillies, that would be awesome.
I agree.
That would be awesome.
Just for that reason, but the Phils got to make it.
Oh, they got to make it. And they will. They will. And following that, San Francisco, Cincinnati, and Arizona are all tied for the third wild card. And Miami, the Marlins, are a half a game back. Those 4 teams, 1 spot. Do you think, who do you got to walk out that final spot in the playoffs?
Dude, it's always so tough to say.
Really, really tough to say. Like, this is a crazy tight race.
It's all about the hot hands, Like,
Yeah.
who's coming down the stretch.
Right. Who can win close games?
Yeah.
Yep.
And, dude, I don't know. I really can't think of anything right now. I would love to see the Reds get in, though. I would
Yeah.
love to see the Reds.
It'd really be exciting to see.
Ellie De La Cruz. I was born in Cincy. I would love to see.
You've been freaking everywhere.
I've been
everywhere. I lived in Philadelphia for 10 years.
I
I
did.
live in Nevada now.
I'm not gonna go-
I'm from Maryland. I was born in Cincinnati. Like, I don't know who you are, bro.
I'm everywhere, man. I'm James Bond.
You really are everywhere. Holy cow.
But dude, Cincinnati needs something, especially the Reds. So I would love to see them get in, but it's all about that hot hand. Who's gonna get hot at the end? And now's the time to get hot. So
It is. I'm going to take the Giants there. I love their closers. I love their pitching. They have a great 1-2 combo of Logan Webb and Alex Cobb. I think those 2 guys and they're great back into the bullpen will carry them into the playoffs. And now looking at the American League, you got Tampa Bay way ahead. They're only a game behind the Orioles now for the AL East pennant. And guess what? They're playing the Orioles right now. They knocked them off 4-3 last night. It was a heck of a game. Now, Texas is a game ahead of the wild card, second wild card right now. We've had a huge fall off from where we were about 2 months ago. But you know what? We've won 6 straight games. We got a series against the Guardians this weekend. Should at least win 2 out of 3, if not all 3. And then Seattle is the third wild card with Toronto game and a half back.
come on, Seattle.
Seattle's playing like shit right now.
I know, but they're gonna pull it together.
Do you think they'll make it? Do you think
Yeah.
the Toronto Blue Jays will be the team out?
Yeah, they'll make it. Mariners will make it.
Yeah. Do you see them winning a wild card series? I think they
No.
play. They play the third. You know what? They play. If they were the 6th seed, that's probably the best case scenario for the Mariners because they play at the Minnesota Twins. And
Oh, yeah,
wild
I
card
love
series.
that.
Twins suck. They just play a bad division.
Yeah, I love that though. Gotta love that for them though. Yeah, I'd like to see the Mariners play Twins, but I think the Mariners are gonna get in. Like I said, I'm gonna stick with my prediction. Like I said earlier, we're gonna rock with the Mariners getting in there. But in terms of who's stopping the Braves, nobody's stopping the Braves.
There you go, Rangers.
All right, moving on. We got Tyler's takes, NFL edition. Listen, I have no idea what Goose's takes are for me, whether they're right or they're wrong. So this is on the fly. Yeah, Goose.
Are you ready? Are you locked in?
Dude, I'm as
Put
locked
your
in.
thank you cap on here.
My cap is on.
All right, let's go.
I'm
Yep.
thinking as much as I can
Yep.
right now.
Hey, everybody, I want y'all to ridicule Tyler for this. He's gonna be wrong on I got 5. He's probably gonna be wrong on 4. All right, Tyler. Number 1.
All right.
Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. Zach Wilson will lead the Jets to the NFL playoffs this year.
All right. This is wrong.
They're not going to the playoffs?
They're not going to playoffs.
You don't think so?
I don't trust Zach Wilson enough at all.
Dude, Jordan Whitehead, did you see their defense manhandling
I know.
Josh Allen?
I know.
They're not
But
doing it.
I think that's a Josh Allen problem, not a New York Jets team. I mean, the defense is solid, a great defense.
Really
Sauce, I've been saying this. Sauce didn't look all that great. He didn't look all that great. He's the PI merchant, and
He sure is.
and
He stole a couple PIs in that game.
and I think it's going to catch up to them in terms of that getting called. He's going to have a lot more tension because he's a star cornerback. I'm not going to let a few go, but listen, the thing that's going to take you to the playoffs is who scores more points.
True.
And the Jets struggled to score points. I mean, struggled. I didn't see anything out of Zach Wilson where I was like, oh, yeah, like, he can really string together a drive.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see
Right.
anything like that.
Right.
So, this take is wrong. Zach Wilson's not going to bring him to the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers will return again. And, oh, my gosh, dude. Watching that game, I was literally heartbroken seeing Aaron Rodgers go down.
That was really tough. It was super
And
sad.
I texted you immediately. It's like, did Aaron Rodgers just tear his Achilles? Right on it, man. I seen that injury before. With
You were the first one to know.
I know.
I said maybe Aaron. He probably knows Achilles is torn.
Yeah, but I mean,
He felt that pop.
I was probably too, because I saw that same injury when I was watching my glorious Kevin Durant tear his ACL in the finals.
Like glorious Kevin Durant.
The
Durant.
best player in the NBA. But Aaron Rodgers is going to return. He's going to return, and the Jets are going to be a solid team. Have a real.
You know what?
shot.
I asked you about this year.
I know. I'm just saying.
Here's the question.
No.
If they traded for Kirk Cousins or Teddy Bridgewater or
Oh my
somebody,
gosh.
somebody else, do you think they go to the playoffs that way?
If they get Kirk Cousins, yeah, they're going to the playoffs.
The new nightmare's going to take them there.
The new nightmare's going to take him there. I mean, dude, and respect to Kirk Cousins last night. He played a great game.
He did play pretty
against
good.
the Eagles.
They just can't
Their
stop
defense
throwing
is
the ball over.
their defense is
Their
horrible.
defense sucks, but they cannot stop throwing the ball
Yeah,
over.
that's true.
I think if Justin Jefferson puts that touchdown in, they win that game.
Okay.
Second take. This weekend, the Kansas City Chiefs will become the 6th ever defending Super Bowl champ to start a season 0-2. They play at the Jaguars. They're 3-point favorites.
At the Jags, they are going to start out 0-2.
They're going to be 0-2. The Chiefs.
This takes correct. They're going to go 0-2. The Jags, man. The Jags. They're a good football team. And they gave the Chiefs a whole lot of trouble in the playoffs. And
Patrick Mahomes had a sprained ankle for that game.
I know he did. But I think regardless, the Jags looked really good. I don't know. This is just one of those toss-up games, you know, like who's grittier. And the Jags are at home. Their home opener. Brings a lot of motivation.
No stadium like Jacksonville.
No stadium like that. I mean, it might as well be neutral field. But
yeah.
no, I don't know, man. There's something about this Jags team. I love ETN coming out the backfield. A lot of Lawrence is reading the pocket really well. You got Zay Jones making that awesome catch.
That was sick.
Calvin Ridley's looking like a real number one receiver. I mean, and Jacksonville really needed that, and they've got it. Their defense was pretty solid. But I think the Chiefs might still have a little bit of a hangover. Kelsey coming back. I know
He'll probably play.
He'll probably play.
He won't be 100% though.
Yeah, and I think that's going to affect them because there's a difference when you have that player in on the drives for the play calls that you're calling for. It really messes up your personnel, what plays you're going to run in those moments. And if Kelsey's not 100% and having to sit out for some of those plays, those crucial third downs, I think Jacksonville gets a few stops. I think they get up and down the field on that Chiefs defense. And,
Yeah.
And I think I can see them winning this game. So,
Yeah.
Chris Jones is back.
True. That is true. I like your point that the Jaguars have way more weapons than the Chiefs. They do. That's absolutely right. Number 3. The best defense in the National Football League resides in Dallas, Texas.
Goose, I don't know if you're going to like this.
I mean,
You're going to love it.
oh, yeah!
You're going to love it. It's right.
Come on!
It's right. It's right.
Darn right!
I said it in the beginning of the year.
Yeah!
I said it in the beginning of the year. I said the Cowboys are going to have the best defense in the NFL, and my God, did they.
You were exactly spot on with their Week 1 defense performance.
I played this man, unfortunately, in fantasy this week. They whopped up a whopping 32 points.
35.
35. I mean, if he didn't have that, I would have won. And it was kind of heartbreaking to see. But yeah, they look legit. And I know, is it the Giants' offensive line? Is it Dallas D-line? I think it's a bit of both.
Listen, the New York Giants went 10-7 last year and beat the Vikings in the playoffs.
Yeah.
People were quick to hate on the Cowboys and react by saying the Giants are a horrible football team. The Giants are a horrible football team. The only reason the Cowboys defense looks so good is because the Giants suck. You know what? Daniel Jones, they call him Vanilla Vic for a reason. That he's a good football player. He's a good football player. The Giants have a good offense who added weapons this year. And I think the Giants, like
I'm
you said,
tired of
defense
I
is
hate that notion that they are bringing about, the Giants, like it's the Giants.
Suddenly the Giants are the worst team in the NFL.
No. I'm telling you, this is what happens when you've got Dan Quinn as your defensive coordinator. He knows exactly how to stunt that D-line, bring pressure, especially with those D-line. And the secondary takes care of itself, honestly, with the D-line once you bring in that pressure. And you've got great corners in Trevon Diggs and Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah, we do.
Darren Bland, he got his pick. And, they got great safeties too. So the defense is loaded on all levels. They're the best defense in the NFL. They're going to get home, bring pressure every snap. And so there's one thing. It doesn't matter how good your quarterback is. If you're bringing pressure home, you're going to win games.
You know what the defense reminds me of this year? It's only been one game, and this is totally going to be an overreaction.
If you say the LOB.
I'm not saying Legion of Boom. Relax. I'm not comparing it to Legion of Boom.
Because that's the best defense of all time.
Richard Sherman is laboring Traylon Diggs. I'll admit that. It does remind me, though, of the Super Bowl winning 2015 Broncos defense, where the no-fly zone, they just blanketed everybody. You couldn't throw the ball against them. They slowed down a 15-1 Panthers team led by Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Just stopped them dead in their tracks in the Super Bowl and won the Super Bowl. with an old Peyton Manning. I think
You
this
think
defense.
you think Von Miller or Micah Parsons is the equivalent of Von Miller in that defense?
I think Micah Parsons is the equivalent of Von Miller. I think the difference is the Cowboys have more pass rushers than that team did, and they have a much more dominant defensive line.
I'm really high on the Cowboys defense this year.
The only thing is, I definitely don't think our corners are as good as the key to
No.
leaving Chris Harris Jr.
No.
I love Trayvon Diggs and Stephon Gilmore, and they look great last week. But I think
They
they're go up
bounce
against
out.
number one receivers. I think like the defense overall is as good as the 2015 Broncos defense, but I think it's a little more front seven center than their back end because their back end, nobody was ever open against that defense ever.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was almost as good as the LB.
But you know what? Yeah, almost. If we can ride our defense to a Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl like the Broncos did in 15, we could follow it up with 7 straight years and miss in the playoffs, just like the Broncos have, and I'd be totally fine. I'd be totally happy.
I'm really rooting for the Cowboys' defense success, but I also don't want them to win because I know you won't shut up if they win a Super Bowl.
Right. All right, number 4. The Buffalo Bills are closer to the New England Patriots than the Miami Dolphins in the pecking order in the AFC East. And
Okay.
Tua Tagovailoa will lead the Dolphins to a division title in that division and a top 2 seed in the AFC this year.
Really good stuff. It's right. We're right again. We're right again with that take.
I'm not actually sure if I'm going to say right or wrong. These are just takes that I want to hear Tyler's opinion on.
Yeah. This is a right take right here. The Dolphins, man, they look good. And, it's week 1. But like I said, Offensive Player of the Year, Tyreek Hill, week 1. What a week 1. 2 touchdown passes. Probably should have had 3,
Dude.
honestly. That ball was just a little outside his reach.
Dude.
Couldn't hang it in.
He
244
had
receiving
some
yards?
fireworks. I think it was 215. But
215?
Same
Oh, that's
I mean,
right.
215, 244.
You're above 200.
Potato.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, that man, it's not just him. Everyone's open. They're open.
Yeah.
Tua's throwing it. He's seeing the field really well.
Yeah.
O-line is holding up. I mean, and Chargers got some talented people on their defense, especially in that D-line.
Yeah.
The only
Derwin
thing,
James on the back end.
the only thing that, I was worried about in that game was the Dolphins defense. I mean, they couldn't stop anyone, but the Chargers offense is really good as well.
Kellen Moore and Justin Herbert together is a dangerous pairing.
Yeah, but Jalen Ramsey's coming back. I think it'll be more locked down than people realize on the Dolphins. They're definitely going to just be able to get the stops they need because Mike McDaniel in that offense, they're a well-oiled machine and they're looking good. And like I said, it takes time with these coordinators to implement their game.
Yeah.
And Dolphins in this year now, year 2 with McDaniel, they're gonna be good.
So you're low enough on the Bills, or you think they're a closer team to the Patriots than the Dolphins?
Yeah, dude, the Bills are. I don't know what's going on with them. I think they're at their breaking point, and I think you can see it with Stephon Diggs. As much as he denies it, people don't say that stuff for nothing.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. I don't know what the heck Josh Allen's thinking. He has no idea what's going on, and
Yeah.
what I think is that he misses Brian Dable. I really do.
Absolutely.
Because once you have that coordinator in your scheme and you become comfortable with them, you know what play call's coming in, what you're going to do with the ball at that moment. He's got to think about this whole new offensive coordinator on top of the frustration that he has with his receivers not getting the ball. And, dude, I just don't think the Bills are anywhere near where they were.
He reminds me of Carson Wentz right now with his hero ball play. Okay, last one. The Buccaneers will contend in the NFC South this year, led by Baker Mayfield.
No.
They're not going to contend.
No,
You don't think so?
no,
One enough start. They look pretty good.
No, they're not going to get done. I think there's too many good teams in the NFC South for. Well, not. I mean, good teams. By good teams,
I don't think there's any good teams in the
No,
NFC
that's
South.
fine. There's not any good teams, but there's better teams than the Bucks in the NFC South.
Yeah,
For me,
I agree.
For me to say that they're.
I agree. I agree. I think it'll come down to the Falcons and the Saints in that division for sure.
Baker Mayfield missed about 2 or 3 touchdown passes that were like easy touchdown passes. I mean, I couldn't make the throw. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, going on take 3 here. College football predictions. Who do we think's in?
We had a lot of stuff happen last week. Texas knocked off Bama, and I think that changed the picture for a ton of people on the playoff. And my top 4 in this order, I'm going to go Georgia, number 1. They play a cupcake schedule. I think they're going to run through the SEC East and win that division, and then win the SEC championship. I mean, listen, like the hardest team they're going to have to play is Alabama and LSU. LSU got harassed by Florida State week 1. Bama got harassed by Texas this week. I think Georgia will be fine, and they'll roll, and they'll go to the playoff undefeated for the 3rd year in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And number 2, I got the Longhorns.
Oh my God.
They're going to be the number 2 seed in the college football playoff this year. Here's why. Listen, kind of like Georgia, they play a pretty soft schedule. You look around the Big 12, and you like Oklahoma. You can like Kansas State, whatever. But I don't think Texas is going to have a problem with any of those teams. They have the best quarterback in the league by far, and they have a great defense, and I trust these
Did you say quarterback?
quarterback.
You think?
Quinn Ewers is the best quarterback in the Big 12.
Oh
by
my
far.
gosh! I thought you said college football for a second. I was like, oh my gosh. Never
No,
mind.
not college football. But they have the best quarterback in that league by far.
Yeah.
At number 3, I'm going to go Florida State. I think they'll finish as a 1-loss ACC champion. I think they'll probably face Clemson in the ACC championship game, and I think they'll beat Clemson one of those 2 times they face them. And then at 4, I'm going to take Michigan. I think again Michigan will be a 1-loss conference champion. I think they're going to lose to OSU or Penn State at some point in the regular season, because I think beating both those teams is really, really tough to do. So they're either going to lose to one of those or lose in the championship for the Big Ten, and I think they'll be in as the 4 seed. What do you got? Main playoff.
All right.
I'm scared.
This is so hard to do. Like at this point in the
Are
year.
you gonna pick like Utah?
No. I'm not picking Utah. All right.
Are you picking Tennessee because you just love Joe Milton?
No, I'm not.
They're horrible, by the way. They looked horrible last week.
They did. All right. So I'm taking Georgia. I agree with you 100% on that.
You got Georgia 1.
Yeah, they're gonna run. It's all about the conference, really.
They just play a Sharpman ultra soft schedule.
Yeah. And they're gonna cruise into number 1 seed. Number 2. I think you gotta take Michigan at 2 here.
Michigan at 2.
Michigan at 2.
Are they undefeated?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Actually, I can't put Michigan at 2.
Who's your 2?
Listen, this is really, really hard for me, and I'm like really struggling with it because
You can go back and forth.
Because part of me is like, I don't know if there's gonna be a team in the Big Ten to make it.
Really?
That's my hot take.
What about the Nittany Lions?
I don't listen. Here's what I think. I think there's gonna be a bunch of 1-loss teams. I think OSU probably will beat Michigan once. I think Ohio State, they look horrible. They're gonna lose to Notre Dame. I think they're gonna lose to Notre Dame.
They are.
They're gonna have that 1 loss.
Yep.
Penn State.
Wait, so OSU's gonna lose to us?
Yeah, Michigan.
They'll beat Michigan.
They're gonna beat Michigan.
Okay.
I don't think Michigan's gonna beat them 3 years in a row.
Wait. Yeah. Okay.
So I think OSU's gonna get that game out.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State, I think they're going to lose a game in there somewhere. So it's going to be a bunch of 1-loss teams. And how are you going to take these other teams? Florida State, I think, might go undefeated and win the ACC. And then, so that's who I've definitely got Florida State in there. I don't know what the seed's going to be. They're going to be in there, though. And then Texas, the Big 12. Who's really stopping? They looked great last week.
Okay, so exactly what I said there. So you got Texas, Florida State, Georgia.
And I don't know who 4 is going to be. Well, here's the thing about
Who is your 4th team?
Big 12 conference game is always just like, I don't know, dude. Something happens in that game, and it's just like so close. So
It always is.
If Texas doesn't win that conference game, they're not in. And then that's when you make room. If Texas doesn't win their conference, then that's when you put the Big 10 team in, which I think if it comes down to it will probably be Michigan. And then in terms of the 4th team that you get, you're going to look at the Pac-12 or you're going to look at Notre Dame.
Right.
And like I said, if Notre Dame, I think they're going to beat Ohio State. If they beat USC, put them in. I think the tough game actually for Notre Dame is going to be Duke coming Ohio State right after Duke at Duke. I think that's
If we beat OSU, Duke would be a huge letdown game for us. If
I think it's
kinda look past them a little
tougher.
bit.
So it's if Notre Dame can get that done. But out of the Pac-12, I like USC or Washington. Who wins that game? I really love Washington and Michael Penix Jr. He looks like a really good quarterback.
So I asked you for your college football playoff prediction. I gave you my
It's
top
too
4
early.
teams in an order.
It's too early.
That's the whole point of this show, is you just preview sports and we give our information. Who's your top 4?
All right. Right now, subject to change, I'm going to go Georgia, Florida State, Texas, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame!
Notre Dame.
Okay, wow. Yeah. See,
I can't not.
do you think if Notre Dame were to slip up in one game against our loaded schedule we get in, do you think that's it if we lose one of those games?
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think we can make it in with one loss. But,
Okay.
But we have to beat OSU.
There'd have to be a lot of parity. There'd have to be a lot of parity for us to get in with one loss. And I think there will be, because you said USC, you mentioned USC. USC plays Oregon, who's gross. They play Washington. They play Colorado, who's getting a lot of hype right now. I think they play 6 more ranked teams the rest of the season.
Yeah.
If they manage to win all 6 of those games, hats off to them. But I don't think they can do that. So I think USC is going to have at least one loss. Every team in the Pac-12 probably will have a loss. The Big Ten is the same way.
That's
This
what
is
I'm
the
saying.
best Penn State team in years.
That's what I'm saying.
And I agree. I think there's going to be so much parity. I think Notre Dame could get in with one loss. So I respect your take there.
Thanks. Chat update. Someone said this show sucks. And the dude on the right, a.k.a. You.
You're on the right.
No, you're on the right.
Oh, yeah, you're on the right on this side. Yeah, what about me?
They said you look so zesty. I don't know who it is.
Yeah. All right, yeah.
And Thomas Wool said facts. So you're zesty. All right, moving in. Take 4. This is where I'm going to kind of take over. UFC shakeup. Sean Strickland beat Israel Adesanya for the middleweight title belt fight. Something no one saw
crazy,
coming. No
actually.
one saw coming. Number 5th ranked contender
Okay, white boy.
took the belt from Izzy, the last style bender, who I thought had a chokehold on the entire division. And he didn't just beat him, dude. I mean, he dominated this dude. He really did.
Yeah?
Looking at the strikes.
Wait, I've actually seen a bunch of clips from this fight, actually.
Yeah, the American, by the way, Sean Strickland, outstruck him in total strikes, 137 to 94.
Wow.
Headshots. This is the one that Izzy was beat up. He outstruck him 85 to 22 on headshots, and he got a knockdown.
Good Lord.
No knockdowns for Sean Strickland. 1 knockdown for him. He just dominated throughout the fight. If you look through stats the whole way down, he just really beat him. Now, I think Izzy probably had a bad day. I don't think that there's anybody.
All giants fall.
Yeah, and he's fallen twice now, but he gets right back up. There's no more. Why am I blanking on his name right now? Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira isn't in the middleweight anymore. He moved up to light heavyweight. So he doesn't have to worry about him in the middleweight division anymore, who was his biggest contender. Duplessis, he's rising up the rankings. I don't see him really as good as Izzy. Whitaker, not as good. Cannonier, not as good.
Listen.
Strickland, I think, really just got lucky.
How long do you think Strickland will hold this belt for?
I don't think he gets the defensive.
Not even one.
No.
When does he fight next? Is he fight schedule?
It's still not up yet, but I bet you they're going to put Izzy right back up.
You think it's going to be Izzy and him again?
Yeah, I think they're just going to rematch
And you
it.
think it'll be Izzy?
Yeah.
Domination?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he just got caught slipping a little off guard and kind of underestimated him, which tends to be an issue in the UFC where you just underestimate your opponent. They get some good shots in, and next thing you know,
Listen, man on man, yeah.
yeah. It went 5 rounds and ended up in a decision, but it was unanimous. Strickland beat the hell out of him.
You said the stats, he dominated him.
He did.
It sounded like he owned the whole fight.
He did. They're both strikers, and he just outstruck Izzy, which no one saw happening.
Wow.
And I think Izzy's going to get back in there, get his stuff together, and
How old is Strickland?
dude, Strickland's old, man. Well, I don't think he's actually that old, but he's older. Let's see how old Strickland is. Yeah, we'll find out later. But I'm telling you what, if there's one thing that I've learned in the UFC, it's that age is a really big factor. He's 32.
32.
So-
First belt at 32 is crazy.
Yeah, so
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
That's definitely on the older years.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing that you can put some betting odds on, is that the older guy tends to get knocked out more.
Yeah.
And 32 is older. Izzy's going to get back in there. Probably knock him out, honestly. Yeah, I don't think Izzy doesn't let people beat him twice, even though he let Pereira beat him twice. But Izzy's just, I think he's just better than the whole division. So that is how I see that shaping out the middleweight division. I think he's still got to wait on it. But moving on to the next big fight, you got Makhachev versus Oliveira 2. Makhachev beat Oliveira. He currently has a belt. Oliveira is a dog for Brazil. He's really got his game together. But the truth is that Makhachev's going to win this fight probably. And Makhachev is essentially a little Khabib. He's got Khabib in his corner. He's like the best wrestler there is. And the truth is, as long as you keep him on the ground and just sit on top of him the whole time, which Makhachev could do, the match is going to be over. That's how I see it playing out. And yeah, but wow. I mean, that was a real big headline watching that fight, seeing Izzy lose the belt. And everyone knew, round 4, this thing's over. As long as
decision was made.
As long as he didn't get knocked out,
Yeah.
it was over.
Wow.
And he did. So
Crazy stuff.
Crazy stuff
in the UFC.
crazy stuff in the UFC. Quick little UFC update. All right, our favorite segment. We changed it from Goose's Spreads. We thought it was a better name to be Goose's Gambling. So we got Goose's Gambling. He's got your spreads.
on,
Remember,
come
we're not betting men because we're D1 athletes, but if we're betting men like you guys out there, yeah, be sure to tune in to Goose's Spreads and maybe take a parlay.
Yeah, all right, so here we go. Here we got this week. I was 3 of 4 in week 1. I was 3 of 6 last week. That's supposed to be at 6 out of 10 on Goose's Spreads for the year.
Hey, 60%.
Not bad at all, you know what I'm saying? All right, I got four more for you this week. Ready,
All
Tyler?
right, give me them.
Number 1, number 15, Kansas State, -4 at Mizzou. Both teams are 2-0. Kansas State has been very, very impressive this year. Kansas State wins when it needs to win. It'll lose in the big games, but early in the season, it gets its job done.
And that's the only problem that I see with Texas coming in that Big 12 title game. That's what I think it's probably going to shape up to be. Kansas State's a good team.
They're probably the second best team in the Big 12, and I think they're going to go knock off Mizzou. Mizzou's also 2-0. They've looked pretty good. They haven't really played anybody, and I think Kansas State will win this game. I think it might be close for a quarter, 2 quarters, maybe 3, but I think Kansas State will ultimately win something like 42-27 or something like that. I think they'll easily cover -4.
Wow, okay.
If I was a betting man, I would totally throw a good amount of money on Kansas State.
Wow, okay.
Number 2, I've rode with them already this season. I rode with them week 1 at West Virginia. I'm going to ride with them again. Give me the Nittany Lions, number 7, 14.5-point favorites at the Fighting Illini of Illinois. Listen,
I like that.
yeah, I mean, come on.
I like
it's,
that.
it's Illinois. They have a good football team once every 20 years. This year's not one of those years. They're 2-0, but they haven't played anybody to beat they're just, no, actually not 2-0. They lost to Kansas last week. Penn State is going to romp through these guys. I don't think it's even going to be close. It's already a 14.5-point line. I think Penn State wins this game something like 45-20, and I think it's going to be a great game. And another time for Drew Allard to show off to you doubters like you, Tyler,
I'm a
that
doubter.
he's a really, really good quarterback
I got to say, he looks pretty good.
who can lead the Nittany Lions very, very far this year. Chris has got to be happy to hear that one.
I got to say, he did look pretty good.
Next up, we were talking about them earlier with our playoff takes. Florida State, they got a 24.5-point edge at Boston College this week. This is another game where it's like a powerhouse going into a bad football school. I mean, Boston...
24.5? That's
Dude,
it?
Boston College is a joke. Florida State beat LSU by 21, I think. 21, and it should have been 28 if not for LSU's late score. If you can beat LSU by 21, you can go beat Boston College by 24.5.
That's a great point.
Boston College almost lost to an SES school 2 weeks ago, and then last week they barely made it through another mid-major school. Like Boston College, this isn't even a good year for Boston College football. They don't have Zay Flowers anymore. They got nobody.
Yeah.
I think this will be a game nobody even wants to watch. And I think Florida State's easily going to cover less than.
I like that.
touchdowns.
I like that one. I like that.
Last one on deck. Little underdog bet. Michigan State without head coach Mel Tucker. He's gone now. He's gone. Michigan State plus 16 at home versus the number 8 ranked Washington Huskies.
Yeah. I'm taking that bet right away.
Listen. Michigan State is going to be able to get it done. Here's why. They've looked really good. Quietly, very, very good. They beat Central Michigan 31-7, who we have on deck this week. And I think
We're covering that too.
I think we're going to cover this week. But I'm going to take Michigan State. I like them. I think they can cover 16 points. I think they're going to play Washington really close. Washington's been good, but their defense has been suspect. They haven't been blowing people off as much as they should because they give up a good amount of points. They do.
Yeah.
And I think Michigan State's going to be able to move the ball against these guys, put the points on the board, and be able to keep it close enough for a long enough of time in this game to where they can be losing by a touchdown, 2 touchdowns. They might even win. I wouldn't be surprised if they won at home.
Really?
Michigan State's a rocking. East Lansing, they get rocking for football up there in East Lansing.
Yeah,
It's not cold there yet. Everybody's still rowdy. They're still energetic. And I think those fans are going to bring a lot to Michigan State because they're going to need it without a head coach.
I think Michael Penix Jr. is slept on as a quarterback for Washington.
He's really good. He's really good. He's like number 8 in all the Heisman thoughts, but Michael Penix is really, really good. He was good in Indiana. Now he's actually with a good football program.
Yeah. I don't like that one.
But you like the other 3.
I like the other 3.
So you think I should replace that one with Notre Dame minus 34.5?
That's right.
We'll see what happens. I didn't want to take Notre Dame again. I'm like, you know what? I'll leave off the Irish for a little bit. I'm a little biased towards the Irish, so I was like, I'm going to stay out of the Irish. I'm going to take Michigan State. Plus, I wanted to have an underdog in there. That was the best underdog pick I saw today. I was doing my work.
Good picks. Good parlay for you guys. As good.
Don't parlay all those 4. I don't know about Michigan State, but I think they can definitely cover that line.
All right. Thanks, guys. That's all we got on the show today. Thank you very much for joining. Tune in next week. We will be on next week, and I'm sure we're going to have a lot to talk about with Saturday college football.
A whole lot.
And NFL. So, thank you guys for
Lots of
watching.
games in the NFL this week. Go Irish, go Cowboys.
Go Hawks.